Good evening, everyone. It's been a long time. I have come up with some new topics, some research topics. Today, I would like to talk about the American Indians and the connection with the ancient Turks. What I would like to show you is the headband of a native Indian. If you have a look at his headband, I'd like to say that this used to be one of the traditional things that you could find in Turkey, with the stones and the things that you could make this weaving certain things. So very typical thing that you could find in Anatolia. Once upon a time. So I have started to compare the similarities. So I have started to compare the words. When we look at the Iroquois, the tribe of one of the American Indians, and you just take Iraq. So it reminds me of Iraq. The Seminoles are another tribe. The Navajo, another tribe. Now, the Cheyenne, I think it is pronounced, are very similar to Chechen. I'm not sure if they have a connection. I think there could be a connection with Chechen and Cheyenne. Lakota, again, Iraq or Iraq. So I'm turning back to the Mohawk and so on. These are the tribes that were in America, in North America. And just a moment. We have, okay, one word, Tuscarora. This reminds me of Tuscany, Etruscans, and also, what was it? Basque. So definitely there could be a connection with the words here. Then we have Tusk, and the words deriving from this. So all the tribes, I think, having to do with Tuscarora, Tusk could be descended of Tash, which means stone. So Etrusc also having a connection. You know my views on Etruscan. So we have the Seminoles, Navajo again, Cheyenne, which is very, very, very similar to Chechen, as I said. Okay, so this is important, this part. Why is this so important for me? Because I'm not sure if you can see this part here, right? So Algonquan. I have no idea on that, but if you have a look at Sahap, Athabaskan, Algic, Hokan, here we have again Athabaskan, and all these tribes who lived here, used to live here. So I told you about Iraq and the Iroquois, right? The Algon. I haven't researched on that, but have a look at Sahab, how similar it sounds Turkish. Atabashkan, we have, and it is claimed that Atapaskan was derived from Atabashkan. So most probably the ancient tribe moved further to North America from the Bering Strait. And here we have Hakan. Hakan is a very old Turkic name and also Turkish name. So it's Turk. This sounds very much like Cappadocia, but I'm not sure of the connection. If there is a connection, look at the chief. I hope you can see him. So this man, if you look at his head, and you will notice that the ancestors of the people, our people, they used to have such helmets on their heads. And here it is, the face of him, how Uralic, how Siberian this person looks, with the high cheekbones and the colored eyes. Also with the features, they look so Siberian. They look so ancient Turkic, with the eyes, with so much Tatar. And another feature is that our hair, you comb it either in the middle or from the side. Very, very distant feature. Okay, and then I would like to mention Kiowa. Kiowa reminds me very much of Kiev. So the if you have a look at Kiowa and the common names, as you actually name them after either the tribes or the ancestors or the places, that's what you generally do as a people. And here Kiowa must have been the forefathers of the Kievan Rus, they say. It has nothing to do with Russia actually, but most probably the Tatars, the people who came to North America, they most probably were living in the Urals. They were not only living in the Urals, but also the Altais. They were home to all Siberia, as I claimed before. Not only the Turks, but also the ancient Indians, the American Indians, of course. They most probably parted before they most probably were together, and they had common features, and they were related to each other before they parted. You will see my ancestral relatedness. Shoshan has... Okay, now, another thing. The Comanche migration. Now, Comanche... so we see that this is an ancient native Indian tribe, yes? And if you look at the Cumans, they are a Turkish tribe, you will see that it is the same people. So this means that before they parted, before the two communities, the Turks and the American Indians, parted, they had already formed a common ancestry, which was, one of them was the Cumans. So the Cumans, they stayed in Europe, they stayed in Eurasia. Most probably they also were in Central Asia. And one part, for some reason, came to the Americas. Again, we have Kiowa, the Kievs, so today's Ukraine, and the Comanche. So these are the Cumans, a common ancestry of Kiev. Kiev is not European. Kiev is definitely Tatar. And then we have here an Arapaho. I wonder if the word Arab comes from this part, because if you have a look at the North Americans and the ancestors of all the civilizations on Earth, they have definitely something to do with the ancient North Eurasians. So one word here you see Arapaho. So the word Arab later must have derived from here. Most probably the Middle Eastern people, they mixed with later, of course, not before. They later mixed with these Siberian tribes and became today's Arabs. I mean, this is just a guess, because of the name resemblance. Now, again, my word for Chechen, I mean, if you have a look at Cheyenne, Arab, Arapaho, Kiowa, Comanche, and if you today, if you compare the Chechens, the Arabs, the Kievan Ukrainians, the Kuman Turks, you will see the connection. So I'm not sure, but if you have a little bit of vocabulary, a little bit of linguistic knowledge and skill, you will see that this could maybe not be coincidence. It could have a connection. It could have a connection. Maybe most of it could have a connection, and is not coincidence. Very interesting. We have, for example, the suffix "ai," yang, ton, ai, right? So also in Turkish we have "ai" as a suffix. Okay, that's it. Now I would like to share with you something else. Just wait a minute. I'm not sure if you can see this. I would like to show this to you. Can you see this? So these are my researches on American Indians and their tribes, and with the Turkish tribes and the Turk tribes. So here you will see how much Tatar they are. When we have a look at the Kuman Turks and the Comanche in American Indians, among American Indians, the tribes, you will see the resemblance. It is very, very, they are from the same descendants, I would say. Wait a minute. Maybe this is better. Also, when we have a look at Pechanga, their tribe, and when we have a look at the Turkish tribe Pechenek, who were also dealing their territory in Europe, we can see the resemblance here. They are definitely the same people. It cannot be coincidence. Also, I noticed another anyway, this is for some other time, because I would like to share some of the places in Siberia which were inhabited by Turks and had several names. This is something else. So another topic is the similarity of the Chumash and the Chuvash. Now the Chumash again is another American Indian tribe, and the Chuvash are a Western Eurasian Turkish tribe. So they are all Turks. The Kalaj, however, they are a Turkish-speaking tribe who live in Iran, and the Kalash people, they are a Turkish tribe, that's what I say, that's what I claim, in Pakistan. This is not coincidence. What I would like to say is that the Chumash, the Chuvash, the Kalash, and the Kalaj, that they are most probably descending from each other. The Chumash and the Chuvash definitely have affected each other in the past, and they are the same people. The Kalaj and the Kalash, they most probably were also the same people, but of course later they intermixed with other, let's say, other tribes, because one of the tribes went to North America, one of them stayed in Europe, and most probably the ones that stayed in Europe, they went further to the south, to India and to Pakistan and to Iran. And the Chumash, they, for some reason, they went to the Americas. It's the same with the Pecheneks and the Pechanga. The Pecheneks, they stayed in Europe, while the Pechanga went further to America. So this was my short presentation on the tribes, the common tribes. What can we say from this? The American Indians and the Turks, they come from the same source. They are related. And we can say that because of these tribal names, because of these common tribal names, around, at least, what they say is they parted around 20,000 years ago and went to the Americas. That means that these tribes had their last, let's say, they formed their common relativity around 20,000 years ago, at least, before they parted. So this means that their relatedness goes back to at least 20,000 years. And before they separated, they had already formed their common communities. So this means that the Proto-Turks and that the Proto-American Indians are the same people. The ancestors most probably were the ancient North Eurasians, and of course the East Asians, the Europeans. So here the Europeans are not today's Europeans, of course. The Europeans here are the ancestral Europeans, who are the Western Turks. The Western Turks, like the Cumans, the Chuvash, and the Pechenegs, they were home to Europe, to Eurasia. And the Chuvash as well. Whereas if you look at Asia, most probably the American Indians and the Turks had their common tribes in Kazakhstan. That's what I learned from a video today, which was very, very actually logical. The claims that the people made who made a research on that, and I'm going to send you a link on the common, let's say, the common values of Kazakhstan and, let's say, Central Asia, not only Kazakhstan, Central Asia, and the American Indians. So this takes the history of the common people far, far back to a common ancestor. So this means we don't have a common ancestors. It goes more back. It goes more back. It makes us relatives. Not, yeah, okay, let's say maybe distant cousins, but we are more related to the American Indians than the East Asians, I would say. Yes. Because we have the same tribes. We have the same common tribes. So this means that American Indians are more Central Asians than American. And also, this makes Turks more American Indian than Mongolian. I wish you a good night. Thank you.